Hi everyone, I'm Wendy, and today I have another raw vegan what I eat in a day. Usually I don't eat a raw diet. I eat a whole food vegan diet that includes things like cooked whole grains, beans, potatoes, as well as many raw fresh fruits and veggies. But as someone who used to suffer from ulcerative colitis as well as other chronic conditions, about a year ago I decided to add Dr. Goldner's hypernourishment to my diet. I did a whole video about that if you want all of the details. And then I also did a video following her Goodbye Lupus protocol, and that's a fully raw diet. It was really fun trying it out and I felt really great. So I've decided that I want to try doing more fully raw days every once in a while. But I'm definitely not abandoning my cooked foods. I think I feel best when I'm eating a combination of cooked and raw foods. But for today, once again, I'll be trying out several more recipes from Dr. Goldner's new book, Goodbye Lupus Hello Delicious. Right now, I think this book is only available on Amazon, so if you want to try any of the recipes, that's where you can find the book. So in this video, I'll show you everything I'm eating today, as well as some of my daily routine. I always start my day with a little yoga, so I did that first thing when I woke up. I don't do anything too intense in the morning. Most of the time I just do some gentle stretches for 10 to 20 minutes. I'll usually do another workout later in the day, so this morning yoga is really more for my mental health and just to stretch out my body a little bit. The other thing I like to do in the morning is drink plenty of water. I usually drink out of a quart-sized mason jar, so I can keep track of how much water I'm drinking. I fill it up about 3/4 of the way full each time, so that's about 24 ounces. So far this morning, I've already had about 24 ounces of water, plus I put about 8 ounces of water in my smoothie. This smoothie was not a recipe out of Dr. Goldner's book, it's just one that I made, so I'll show you how I made that, and then I'll drink my smoothie and I'll go and get some work done. I started with about 6 ounces of power greens, 6.14 ounces to be exact. I am weighing my greens for the video today, but normally I don't bother with this. If you're just starting out and you want to get exact amounts, I do recommend getting a kitchen scale. But by this point, I'm pretty good at guesstimating how much greens I'm eating. Then I added about half of a frozen banana and about half a cup of blueberries. I'm also adding some grated fresh ginger, which really brightens up the flavor of any smoothie. I keep my ginger in the freezer, and that makes it grate even easier. And I don't bother with peeling it, I just grate the peel right in there. Especially since I'm going to be blending it up, you won't notice the skins. Then normally I just use water to blend my smoothies, but today I decided to do a combination of almond milk and water. This didn't turn out to be the prettiest smoothie. Since I'm using so many greens and blueberries, it turned into kind of a muddy green color, but I don't really care how my smoothies look as long as they're delicious and healthy. And of course, to help protect your teeth, you can drink your smoothie through a straw. It's been a while since I showed you my houseplants. I'm not very good with the houseplants in general, but I have this gorgeous spider plant that has been doing really well. It keeps producing a lot of spider plant babies, and these 4 down here are a few babies that I got off of it about a year ago, I think. I've been meaning to transplant these to larger pots for months, but I keep running out of time. But it's supposed to be really nice out today, so I think I'll try to do it this afternoon after work. I also have an old thyme plant that's all dried out, so I'll throw that in the compost as well. For lunch, I'm having a massaged kale salad from Dr. G's book. Once again, I'm weighing my cruciferous vegetables, and then I'll massage the kale. Massaged kale is great because kale can be a little tough to chew when it's raw. So massaging it helps to break it down a little bit, sort of pre-digesting it in a way, so it's easier to chew and digest. And I'm also adding some purple cabbage. I ended up using about 5 ounces of kale and 3 ounces of cabbage in my salad. So with the greens in my smoothie this morning, I'm up to 14 ounces for the day already. If you are either hypernourishing or following Dr. Goldner's Goodbye Lupus protocol, she recommends 1 pound of cruciferous a day. So I'm already almost at my 1 pound for the day. Then last night I blended up the dressing for this salad so it would be ready to go. Of course, I'm not going to give you the exact ingredients or recipe since these are in Dr. G's book. But you can find this recipe on page 31. It's called Citrus Cruciferous Salad. So I tossed everything together and was going to top it with an avocado, but oh my goodness, look at this avocado. It seemed fine from the outside, but was totally rotten. Luckily, I had a spare that looked much better. Along with the salad, I'm also trying the zucchini marinara on page 53 of Dr. G's book. If you don't have a spiralizer, a really easy way to make zucchini noodles is simply using a julienne peeler. I don't think I've ever had zucchini raw, so this will be interesting to try. And the sauce was really easy too. I blended it up last night, so it was all ready for me to add to the zucchini today. So I'll mix that up and give everything a try. All right, let's give these a try. So I'm gonna start with the zucchini noodles and marinara, which is on page 53 of Dr. G's new book. I've never actually tried raw zucchini before, but I really like it. It has a nice crunch and is really refreshing. And this marinara sauce has raw onion and garlic. If you're not used to that, that's a pretty powerful flavor, but it's really delicious. Next up, I'm also having the citrus cruciferous salad, which is on page 31 of the new book. I really love massaged kale salads because when you massage the kale, it's a lot easier to chew, so it makes it much more pleasant to eat. And the citrus dressing on here is really tasty. It's really bright and flavorful, so I'm excited to dive in and finish this salad. So I'll go do that and I'll let you know what I'm eating later. I really enjoyed the zucchini marinara. It was very flavorful and it felt like one of those meals that tastes really healthy, but it's still really delicious at the same time, so it makes you feel good. But I also wanted to try it with a little nutritional yeast, so I added a little bit of that. It's good without it, but it was a nice touch to add. And by the way, for anyone who is following Dr. Goldner's Goodbye Lupus protocol, she does allow nutritional yeast. I'm up to 56 ounces of water for the day. I finished another glass after lunch, and then I took a quick break to take a walk and enjoy the beautiful day outside. It was February when I recorded this, which is usually one of the coldest months here in the Midwest, but I was out in a short sleeve t-shirt and it was nearly 80 degrees. Not exactly winter weather, but it was beautiful for a nice walk. And after that, I was hungry, so I made a little snack. I simply made a repeat of the smoothie I had this morning, just a little bit smaller than what I ate earlier. For dinner, I'm trying the sushi rice recipe on page 61 of Dr. G's book. It uses cauliflower for the rice substitute, and like all of the recipes in her book, it was really easy to put together. Time to taste the sushi bowl. This is pretty good. I liked my salad earlier a little better, but I definitely will enjoy eating this one. So I'm gonna go enjoy this and I'll let you know if anything else interesting happens today. And the last recipe I tried today was the cherry pie on page 153. It's basically a cherry banana ice cream with flax seeds, and it was so delicious. I had to make a much larger batch than the recipe calls for, just so there was enough in my blender to actually blend. So I had some extra to put away and freeze for later. And then after dinner, I did go outside to compost my old thyme plant and to repot my spider plants. It was such a nice day out today, so it was perfect for doing this job. Since I had put this off for so long, my plants were very much root bound in their pots, so I hope I didn't traumatize them too much, and hopefully they will thrive in their new pots. Like I said, I'm not a great gardener, but I did my best. I wish I was a better gardener because I'd love to mess around in the dirt more often. They say that it's good for your microbiome, getting your hands dirty. And I certainly did get my hands dirty today. And that's about it for the day. After that, I went inside and cleaned up and relaxed for the rest of the evening. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. That includes lots of grains and beans. No. As well as a lot of raw vegetables. Ugh. As well as many fresh vegetables. Fresh vegetables. Okay. Oh my God. Start over. Oh my God. Why is it so hard? Okay.